Hello and welcome to Tony's Bonsai. I keep saying to myself, don't buy any more trees, you've not got space, but it's just too hard. I went to the Bonsai show last weekend, the Accrington show, and there were a couple of these Forest Flames Pyrrhises there. So I just had to get one of these. These other two are plants I've had knocking about all winter, so let's just work on these trees, enjoy it, that's what bonsai's all about. I picked this up from a chap who sells them out of his front garden. It was only £7, but it's got some nice movement, which was why I picked this one up. It's got some nice movement low down here, very nice. This low branch probably be a sacrificial branch. And I'm thinking this will probably be the front, and this one here could be the new leader. There's quite a clump up at this top there, which makes me think that won't make it into the final design, but I'll leave it on just to pump some growth into the tree. I've been getting to the stage recently with my bonsai where I no longer even need tools. I can just go and it's gone. In reality though, I forgot to press record, so I had to get rid of one of these, and this one here comes back at a nicer angle than the other one, so this will make a good new leader in the future. But for the time being, as I say, I'm going to let this just go. I'm not really sure whether this is a good or a bad time to repot a plant like this, but it's got loads of roots. I want to get it into a bigger pot because I want it to grow. And while I'm doing it, I may as well just have a cursory look at the roots just to make sure that the nabari is okay. So I'll just have a quick scrape back of the top inch just to see what I'm dealing with. The roots seem kind of interesting. They're a bit like, seem quite fine, like an azalea. I don't know if they're related or not. The leaves are kind of similar, so perhaps they are. You can see I'm well prepared for this video, done lots of research. So we seem to have a sort of root base somewhere around here, but these roots do seem to come upwards, so I'm thinking these ones are better being removed. That's good. It's just those really awkward problem ones that I don't want to develop and thicken. We've got a bit of a root that seems to curl around here. This is the kind of thing that does end up being a problem. Doesn't really matter where it goes. It's a really bad root and it's got to go. Yeah. Hopefully there's not... look. There's very little on it, which is lucky. We've got one here. This is kind of coming upwards again. It goes across and then vertically down. So again, I'm happy to just get rid of that one. There, that's better. That's got nothing on it. That can go. Eventually this big knuckle can be removed in the future. It's a very one-sided root ball though. There's basically very little around this side. It's just all coming from around here. Because I did take so many roots off there, I think it's wise of me to go in and just remove a bit of the foliage. Otherwise, I just don't think it'd make it. So that should help the tree quite a lot. It's always a gamble when you buy cheap material like this, and it's always a little bit disappointing when your roots are awful and you've got to cut a lot of them off, but sometimes you have to do it and then just see what happens. The good thing is I've got more. I spotted this tree in my local B&M bargains. It was only £4 and it's a Prunus angustifolia, some kind of plum. It doesn't say on here. I looked it up online though and it's some kind of plum. And I think apparently it makes quite a good bonsai. It's got some quite interesting structure to it. The leaves are fairly big, so I am going to have to grow this and develop it. But it's got bits of branching and bits of movement and stuff, so it's got potential. I've been quite unlucky with my roots recently, so I think I deserve one that has got a really good, nice set of roots that I don't need to cut too much off. And I've got a feeling this is going to be it. There's my prediction. Let's see how accurate I am. Nothing to see really so far, apart from this one kind of weird root that's coming up and around, and I knew that was there. That's coming from quite deep down, which is fine. So that one's going to have to go. I've done some exploring and this weird root seems... Oh, it snapped off anyway there. No, it goes further. I'll just cut it there. There we go. That gets rid of that one. And then it's a question of finding where the roots kind of properly begin. If there is what you'd call a proper root base, or whether they just come from everywhere. My optimism is fading. It's going down. Right, we've got these roots here again that are coming straight up from low down. That can go. Right. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, that's not good. Not good at all. Because we've got like a kind of swelling here. See that swelling? And then the actual root base is down here. So I do have to go with the proper root base. I can't turn this into the Nabari. And given time, that swelling will kind of hopefully level out and disappear. Not having these roots coming... Oh, look, you can see here it is. It was that one that was wrapping around the trunk. Has kind of strangled the trunk and caused a big indentation. That's unlucky actually, that. Because that's quite a mess. Oh, come on. Give me a break. So perhaps this one will end up being a candidate for an air layer down the line. But you never know what will happen with this base. It might just sort itself out over time. We'll just have to see. I'm not taking any more roots off now, apart from just this one thick one that's going directly down that seems to be, doesn't have much attached to it anyway. This one here. Right. So we've got it down to a root base. It's just a question of what happens there. I'll get it in some soil anyway. I was quite surprised how bad that was. That was pretty unlucky, that one, I think. But, you know, providing it makes it, I think it's got a decent chance. I love a game of poker. Texas No Limit Hold'em, that's my game. And so I love statistics, and probability says this Weigela can't have as bad roots as those two. Let's see. These Weigelas This is a Weigela Monet. There's some kind of Chinese bush. And they've got these lovely variegated leaves. And as they mature, they've got like a pink tinge to the edges, which is really nice. The important thing though is what's going on down here. I was wrong with my previous prediction, but I'm predicting this is going to be a beauty. I don't even really know what the trunk looks like on this, because I couldn't really get to see it, and it's just been sat outside, so I've not even looked. So first thing, let's get the surface soil off. Now we're talking. Look at that, lovely. This is far more like the kind of root base that I like. This had one of those mesh sort of circles in the centre. So it was initially grown in a little mesh plug, and then they plant that mesh plug into the soil, into the bigger pot, and it confines all these lower roots. However, that's just shouting out to me. Exposed root. Look at that. The tree naturally comes off this way. It looks lovely, the tree, actually. Really like it. There's a bit of a dead branch there. It can be removed. But apart from that, everything's looking good. And the tree naturally moves off this way. So I like the fact that the tree moves this way, and I can have an exposed root like that. Oh, that would look so good. You might have seen in previous videos, what I like to do is get some bonsai soil in these roots before I apply the wire. It's very hard to get the soil into an exposed root once you've got that wire on. So I just try and get it like that, and then kind of grab it and turn it over like that. Get a load more bonsai soil on top. Work it in. This one's coming up, this. Oh no, I can make that go down. No, it's just going to be a problem, that root. Get rid of that. And then, as I say, just work the soil around and into these roots. Give it a shake. Let's get it right in there. And then kind of work going down with the direction of the roots, just to pull them in that kind of downward direction like that, like this. I get my wire, wrap it around the trunk just to secure it in place like that. And then just kind of keeping the roots pointing downwards. Work this wire down and around, kind of like that. There. It's a bit of a manoeuvre now. This would be a lot easier if I didn't have the soil in there with the roots. But I just think it's going to give the tree a much better chance. I really, really believe so. There are a few roots sticking out, but not many. In fact, hardly any. There's just a couple on this side, and I can redo the wire just to trap them in place. So, how's that for potential? Love it. Something like this is worth the two potential failures to get one that could end up being a beauty. I am just going to reduce the length of some of these branches just to take some of the load off those roots. Not too much. And I'm cutting back to, you know, plenty of leaves and stuff. This should just give it an extra chance over the next few weeks while it sends out new roots at the bottom and sort of sets itself up. You know, this is the kind of bonsai that really kind of gets me excited, because I think potentially how good could this tree look in the future. You know, this could be the kind of tree that goes to an exhibition and something I could be proud of. Well, it just shows if you work on enough trees, eventually you're going to get a good one. And I've been really lucky so far with my collected material, with some of my urban yamadori. You're bound to get a few nursery trees that are a bit difficult, but it's all part of the fun. If every tree was perfect, there'd be no challenge to it, and I like a challenge. So I hope you've enjoyed me almost murdering 3 plants. As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.